Okay, so as you can see, we have a Golden Eagle Mark IV on the bench. This is the Mark IV, not a Mark IV-A. The differences there are pretty much in the transmitter portion, and it was a vast difference in the frequency synthesis. This has the early sardine can PLL module, and there's a couple circuit boards back in behind the channel selector there, where the later versions, the Mark IV-A's, had a different PLL setup in them. So in any case, as you can see, this radio receives just fine. This radio was sent in by the customer. He's going to be selling this one. He's got a bunch of CB radios. He's got, I think, some other Brownings, but he wants to sell this one. And this one is, as you can see, in very, very nice condition, and is receiving. He does want a transceiver alignment done to it once I get done repairs. And the repair that needs to be done is it does not transmit. So if we reach over here, actually, we can just... don't really care about the receiver section at the moment now. Just get down here to the transmitter. I'll flip over the dummy load there. So our mic plug is plugged in. We want to verify the complaint. And we grab our microphone and... yep, dead as a doornail. Relay is not keying. So, here's a good place to start on basic diagnostics. Before you go tearing into your radio, and before you know it, have a pile of parts that you can never put back together by yourself, do yourself a big favor, because I see a lot of radios. People send me or ask me questions about them. You know, my radio's not working and they've torn into it. Before you get that far, do yourself a favor and check the simplest thing. And it's nothing to do with the radio itself. It's the microphone. So, we want to verify that this microphone is working. So if you don't have a mic tester, you don't know what to pin at, exactly how to check the mic, an easy way to do it is there's a keying circuit. That's what your microphone is doing. It's acting as the switching circuit. So on the Mark IVs, pin 2 and 3 need to be shorted together to switch into transmit mode. Pin 3 being the ground, pin 2 being the transmit, and if you follow it out on the schematic, that's actually what goes to the coil on the relay. So what we want to do is because we're grounding the relay inside the transmitter, so what we want to do is just take the simplest thing we can do to verify that it's an external problem and then an internal problem is to short those two pins together. So get yourself a little pair make up some type of shorting clip. You can even just take a piece of wire, but I prefer not shoving wires in there. You have a piece of strand sticking off. You don't want anything shorting out. So let's take a pair of alligator clips, stick a little, terminal in here, and we go to pin 2 and 3. Aha! Look at that. Transmits. So yep, absolutely nothing wrong with this radio. Other than it does need an alignment. I can see the dial's a little bit out of calibration, but other than that, seems to work fine. We just have a bad microphone. And more than likely, the majority of problems in microphones are usually found within the mic plug. And if you just watched my video on how to properly wire, properly solder a mic plug so it never fails on you, now would be a good time to put those newly found soldering skills to work. So, like I say, don't fret. You get a nice radio, or the radio you already have, nice radio, something like this, stops working on you, and oh my God, I'm going to have to send it out. Stop. As long as you can find the pin out for the microphone jack, all you need to do is find out what you need, which two pins you need to short out to check, or you can use an ohm meter and actually check your microphone. One or the other, doesn't really matter. It's always nice to verify the radio itself works, though, by actually shorting out the switching circuit. So I'll do a complete separate video on this because, like I say, it is going to have a transceiver alignment done. So I'll show what the insides of one of these looks like in case no one's ever seen close-ups of the transmitter and receiver, both top and bottom. So this video was mainly, like I say, just simple troubleshooting that anybody can do with nothing more than basically a piece of wire. So I've taken the microphone plug apart here. I just thought I'd go ahead and tack a little section onto this so I could show that yes, it definitely was the microphone plug wiring the most common failure point in probably any CB radio, you can see we have a broken wire. So that's all it takes to kill your radio is nothing more than a broken wire. So we'll get this wired back up, and that will fix our no transmit complaint.